So he's mentioning some quarterbacks here. 2022, Geno Smith. 2023, Baker Mayfield. 2024, Sam Darnold. 2025, the QB who will turn their career around is Justin Fields. He's averaged 19.8 fantasy points over the last 3 games he played, and he's back with his college wide receiver, Garrett Wilson. We'll go to you first, Joey. Are you buying the Justin Fields rebound year for 2025?
Absolutely. I really think that Jet fans scored big on acquiring Justin Fields. But sometimes when you have that safe bet with Fields, being able to have those surefire plays across the middle of the field that really gets you those targets, I truly see Fields being that rebound QB for the Jets at this point, and somebody had mentioned the fact that, while Aaron Rodgers was able to make a namesake for Garrett Wilson when he was the starting quarterback there, I think Garrett Wilson should be a top target for fantasy as well if Fields and Wilson can get on that same page. I think Fields is definitely going to be the turnaround year. I keep an eye on the Jets this year. I really think that if Fields plays his game and he's able to stay healthy and be consistent throughout, he's going to have a few tough games, but overall in fantasy, I definitely see a boom production for Justin Fields as the season progresses.
What are your thoughts on Fields as a bounce-back season?
50-50. I think Fields. I think he'll get fantasy points. I think he'll get fantasy points for his rushing upside. But that gives me a little pause. Just the Jets in general with how they are the organization. The Jets aren't this offensive powerhouse that these offenses where he fell in. I don't think the situation is as great. So there's a little bit more hesitation than I'd like to think. Enjoy to see him do well because I think he's been misused his whole career. But the situation is far from perfect and far from being great. I'm good.
Yeah, so I think there's a way you can separate this, right? I think he's looking at it from a fantasy perspective, obviously, because he's a fantasy guy. I think there's a world where Justin Fields is fantasy relevant. I think there's a world where Garrett Wilson is a top 12 wide receiver with Justin Fields. There's a world where Breece Hall is a top 15 running back. And in that same world, the Jets are a terrible team, right? I think that's a possibility to happen because of the way fantasy points are divvied out. I see Justin Fields putting up monster fantasy points, and still the Jets are not winning games. And I think that could be what happens this year. I think those 3 guys, Fields, Wilson, and Breece Hall, can all be good fantasy options. And then also the Jets are winning 4 games this